People like to say that life is hard and complicated. I agree with the hard part, but I don't think it's that complicated. So today I'm going to show you the model that I use to solve all my problems in my life. Coming up next.
Let me see you put 'em up. Reach the sky, touch the stars up above. Cause it's one time for the underdog. One time for the underdog.
Hey guys, this is Broke to Beast, where we make videos about starting your own business, online or offline, as well as follow along my own journey. Before we start, if you like entrepreneurship and business content, make sure you go down below and subscribe because we post videos every day about helping you achieve your success in business. So as you see by the title of the video, the concept that I'm going to talk about is the triangle of life. And the triangle of life has three parts, obviously 3 points, and they're the three main areas of your life that you need to fix in order to be considered happy, or consider yourself happy, or achieved, or whatever you want to call happiness in your life. And this is something I came across when I was around 15, 16. And although this is a very simple model, it's actually a simplification, I would say, of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The one that you have on the bottom, the basic needs that are sex, food, water, and shelter. And then upper level, you have relationships and all that. And then you have ambition, and then you have ultimate goals. Like that hierarchy is similar to what I'm talking about, but this is much simpler. It's something that you don't have to overcomplicate, and just focus on improving each area. I realized when I was in high school that all the problems in my life that I was facing then were things that could be grouped in three different categories, and that's why I came up with this idea of the triangle. And I realized that if any individual, if they could fix these three main areas to sufficient levels, so if they could gain enough momentum in each of these levels to sufficient levels, they would consider themselves happy and en route to success, because although they're not 100% accomplished in all of them, they have a good base level for each of them, which will make it easier in the future to build upon that. And to be honest, I don't think I invented this model. I believe the source of this model was from a website called girlschase.com. Really recommend that website. It changed my life. And I'm not sure if I read it there or if I came up with this myself, but it doesn't matter. What matters is if it helps you out or not, and I hope it does. And so the three main categories of this triangle are social, health, and career/money. Okay, so social, health, and career/money. These are the three main areas. As a man, I'm not talking as a woman, more as a man, but these can be applied as a woman too. And so as long as you work on these three main areas in your life, you'll feel as an accomplished man. So I'd recommend to start off that each of these three areas has these three main ideas. The one is, for each of these areas, you need a good source of information, something like a Bible or something that will help you, guide you through the process, to help you understand how to build yourself in that specific area and be able to, improve yourself. Even though I believe in having a Bible and something where you can get information, I don't believe in having just one source, because that will leave you blindsided and it will just make you think in one specific way. So even though you can agree with something more than other things, you have to, every single day, or at least once in a while, you have to question your beliefs and understand if that's still what you truly believe. So for example, in terms of the social area, the website that really changed my life, I started reading books about, for example, how to win friends and influence people by Dale Carnegie. That helped me a lot in terms of the social, and also in terms of pickup, of talking to girls. I started reading the game, and then I read mystery and read tons of forums and websites. But the only website that actually changed my mind and made me take action is called girlschase.com. That website is really good. It's always based on scientific evidence, and it's always based on the fundamentals of the game that you actually need, not fluffy stuff like you don't need to remember lines and all that. It's just based on the fundamentals of life and how to improve them. In regards to fitness, I follow tons of influencers on YouTube that are always talking about fitness, natural fitness, so gym related stuff like Omar Yusuf, Jeff Nippard, Alpha Destiny. And so those are the channels that I follow, because I do believe in what they say, but they don't say the exact same things. For example, Alpha Destiny, that there are some things that he doesn't agree with Omar Yusuf, and the same as with Jeff Nippert. But all their arguments are based on science and based on their own empirical experiences. And in regards to career and money, I've read tons of business books like The Millionaire Fast Lane. It's a great business book. Obviously, Tim Ferriss also has pretty good books. But all the information online on how to start a business and all the books online can help you understand how you can retain all that information and build a business for yourself and a life if that's what you want, or to build a career if you want a career in something else. The second thing that you really need in each of these areas are friends that are good in these areas already, or that want to improve in these areas, but with dedication, not just, oh, I'd like to be better in this. No, it's friends that are actually willing to sacrifice some things to accomplish better in these areas, and they don't have to all be in the same mindset as you in terms of all 3 points of the triangle. You can have one friend for social situations and chasing girls, for example. One friend that is really good in business and entrepreneurship and you relate to him really well. And then another friend that is really into fitness and evolving his body. Although I do find that the more as I progress, I tend to go towards people that are in all three, because that would be the ideal, right? Instead of just going for one for each, just try to find people that are in the three categories as I am. And the third thing that you need to have for each category is to have a clear path of goals for your life. So you need to decide exactly what you want within these things and what your beliefs are and what you can accomplish, and forget about your fears and just go for it. So here are some of my goals that I have accomplished or I'm still accomplishing now in each of these areas. In terms of the social, one of my goals was to be able to approach anybody and have conversations with anybody that I wanted without having any problems and any of the fears stopping me. Just being able to walk up to anybody and strike a conversation and have a positive interaction, not a negative one, a positive where I would maybe impact their life or just have a nice conversation with them. And that's something that I believe I have acquired in the last few years, fortunately. The second thing is be able to choose women in my life and take it all the way enough to understand the dynamics and be able to do whatever I want with the women I want. And this is also something that I have accomplished somewhat in the past, and I think I have a solid base, but I think there's still a lot of improvement that has to be made, because I always believe that if you think you're already accomplished, you're never gonna want to grow anymore. And I always like to think about growing myself every single day. Let's move on to health. So health is something that I believe I ignored in the first few years of my self-development phase, because it's something that I thought was not necessary, and in regards especially to my body and how my body functions and how my appearance. And so the goals that I envision for my body are to gain a body that I love and respect, and that is accompanied by strength in the lifts that I really care about. For example, right now I care about the overhead press and the pull-up, weighted pull-up, and I care about my neck. I want to grow my neck. And so these are the three main lifts that I care about. Before, I used to be the deadlift, the squat, and the bench, the big three, but not anymore. So that's one of the part of the health. And the other one is to be able to defend myself through a martial art or something that I really enjoy. And I've tried a few classes before. I did karate when I was in high school, but to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it. I did it for 1 year, and I was skipping classes. It wasn't really my style of martial art. But I tried a few weeks ago. I tried MMA and I tried a little bit of kickboxing and Muay Thai, and I really enjoyed it. So I think I will be going into that in the future. The next and final category is career and money. So the first goal was to have a career decided for myself. I don't really strive in a place where, not in chaos, but in indecision. When I have indecision in my life, it's where I procrastinate and where I don't accomplish things. And so the first thing I wanted to do is to define a career path that I want. And I have decided I want to be an entrepreneur for life. I am an entrepreneur. I already decided that. And I feel that's in my gene as well, which is also a good thing, I guess. But I don't mind having a job in the meanwhile, not only to learn from the best and learn a specific industry, but also to be able to, support myself in the meanwhile, to be part of the process. But it's never the destination. The job is not the destination, it's just a process to becoming an entrepreneur. Second thing was to be financially free from any parent, government, or employer. And so being able to choose what I do in each moment of the day, even if it's working in a business that I really enjoy, which is probably what I'm going to do. I don't really like staying around doing nothing. I really get bored and I feel unaccomplished. A bonus is being able to build businesses that I love and have the possibility to change the world, obviously through entrepreneurship. And that's really something that I also see when I do entrepreneurship. It's not just about the money, although it's the most immediate feedback that I need to get in order to live this life of entrepreneurship. But it's also about changing the world and creating products that change people's lives. And the bonus number 2 is to use that money in the future to help people in need in the world to get off their asses and start building their societies, and also help entrepreneurs in less favorable countries to also grow their businesses and make capitalism, I'd say, globally. And even if capitalism doesn't become their their economical system in their country, be able to help them to be able to strive in their country, even though they have more of a socialistic or even a communistic type of country. And I really recommend you to start building these 3 areas as soon as possible in your life, because they can really impact your life in ways that you cannot imagine. They're not all separate from each other. All of these build upon each other. Although they are separate areas, once you improve one side, you'll feel the motivation and the confidence to take on challenges in other areas, and you'll actually be able to concentrate in other areas more because you know that the other areas are taken care of. Also, depending on where you are in life, some areas will be more important to you compared to others. For example, right now I've traveled a lot and I've developed a lot of social skills in terms of how to talk to people, and in terms of girls, I'm comfortable in my own skin right now, and I'm being able to do that. The goals that I set for myself, and the number of girls that I wanted to have a relationship with, and the people that I wanted to meet are more or less met, even though I still want to meet more people. But the ability to meet people is already there, it's the skill that I only need. I only have to change my environment in order to be able to meet the right people that I still don't have in my life. So that area of my life is taken care of for now. Obviously, it won't be for the rest of my life. But since it's taken care of for now, I want to concentrate now in the weakest point of my life, which is my career and money. I want to be able to create a business that is making at least 100,000 per month, and to be able to impact a lot of people with that, and maybe hire even some people. I'm not sure about that yet. But yeah, just be able to develop that side. Sometimes you have to sacrifice the other areas in your life in order to build one of them more. And when I say that, I think about the memes on Facebook that I remember were really popular, like student memes that were. You had social life, good grades, and sleep, and you can only choose 2 of them. And I feel like that's mostly what life is about. You can only choose 2 of the triangle of life. You can only choose body, social, and body health, social, and the career money. You can only choose 2 at a time to develop. And even between those 2, you need to have a main one that you really want to focus on. And to be honest, I feel like of those 3, there are only 2 combinations that are possible. Even though technically you could do one of the combinations that I'm going to talk about, I feel like 2 of the combinations are the most optimized to progress in each of the areas. And they are body plus career or body plus social. And why do I say this? Well, when you have career plus social, something funny happens. We use our energy. We have a limited amount of energy in a day, and it's based on sexual energy, and we redirect that into things that we want to accomplish and we want to progress at, right? And so when you go to the gym, it's more of a release. It's not a use of the sexual energy, although it is still somewhat of a sexual energy, but it can be kept, as a habit, something that you do and you need when you go to the gym. So it's more like of a passive progression. However, career money and social relationships is something that can really affect each other if you don't control it. Because once you start going out socially and you start getting a lot of success, it kind of gets addictive, and you want to go out more and meet more girls and take them home with you, or meet more friends and just enjoy more social interactions. and that can be addictive. And so if you're trying to build that, and at the same time you're trying to build your career, and which can also be addictive. You read books on self-help and on business, and you improve your business, and you start building a business, and you start getting customers, and then you want to 10x that, and once you 10x, you want to go even further, and then you get more addicted to that. And once you get a little bit of less returns from each side, you'll start the feedback loop of results. It's going to tend towards the one that you're having more success with. So if you're having more success with girls and all that, you'll tend to focus more towards that because it's also more fun, right? But if you're not having as much success with that, and you want to focus more on the business, you start going towards the business, and you're going to start ignoring the girls a little bit more, which is, it's fine. But I still think that body should always be, prevalent there and be one of the main two. And the other one is to choose with cycles in your life. So I suggest first, if you're still young, to develop a social skills and be able to talk to girls, because you'll be in your mind ready to get back to that as soon as you're building a cycle of business, because if you go into business and you don't know how to talk to people or talk to girls, you're always going to be insecure and thinking about that problem. So if you focus on having a really good social skills, then once you have a good base, you can go into business and just focus on that for a few years. Even though you might get a few social interactions, might get laid for a few times, maybe have a relationship, you still know that that's not your primary focus, and you're still building your body, so you know that you'll be even more confident in your body when you get back to business. And also it comes to a point, I'd say, that once you experience a lot of partying, a lot of one-night stands, a lot of social interactions with people that you've never met before, you start to realize that although those things are important, your threshold for stimulation gets a lot higher. So once you do a lot of partying, like general parties don't really stimulate you anymore, because you've been there before and you've partied, and if you woken hangover, maybe with a girl by your side, it's something that has already happened, so it's not really new for you. And so the standards for parties that you go to are going to start becoming higher, and so that brings also less opportunity to develop your social skills, but you're also going to focus more on business. But once you develop your business, you'll also be able to go to more expensive parties and have more lavish parties and all that, which is also better. So each one complements each other, but I think you have to develop them separately in order to be truly successful and not get mediocre results. Anyways, I hope this helped you out understand my model of triangle of life, and realizing that if you have a problem in any of these areas, you have to make sure you have satisfying results before you move on to the next area, so you can be mentally stable in your mind. And sometimes it's going to be hard. Even though you have some satisfying results in an area, you still want to develop it, and you might be tempted. But if you focus on an area, I'd say maybe try to focus on it 6 months at a time to make sure you try your best and you don't get sidetracked with other things. Anyways, I hope this helped you out understand how I fix my own problems and how I lead my life. And if you have any comments or questions, or any comments regarding how you live your own life and the models that you follow, please leave them in the comments below. I'm really interested to know that. And if you like this type of content, please subscribe to the channel, because we post videos every day about business, entrepreneurship, and self-development. And I'll see you next time. Peace.